Hello and welcome to another video, guys. Today we are wrapping up the NFL Stadium series. If you don't know what this is a series where I go around and I basically make fun of NFL stadiums while touring them based on which one makes me want to gouge my eye out the least. And also, if you do enjoy this, please do subscribe and check out my other content on this channel. These videos, especially this one, take a very long time to make. I think the longest one's taken like maybe 14 hours total just to make, and that's of constant work. This one honestly is probably gonna take more if it hasn't already, just because I am doing so many teams in this one. But if you do enjoy this one, then please do just help out the channel, and I guess let's get into the video. Alrighty, first up we got the drop Rubik's Cube looking Star Wars Sand People machine, home of the Minnesota Blue Devils, US Bank Stadium. And right away, this window up here is only covering like half the roof, but I guess when your defense only covers half of what they're supposed to, it's just what you get. And also, these beams here are sagging more than Vikings fans' shoulders in the playoffs. I would make fun of this color scheme here too, but I mean, if I'd been choking for 50 years straight, I think I'd be pretty purple as well. And their competition will be the upside down bathtub looking, hard hat, chin strap looking warehouse, home of the Dallas Cowgirls, AT&T Stadium. And quite honestly, I'm pretty surprised they're sponsored by AT&T and not Goodyear, because they always seem to be saying they're gonna have a good year. And already on the way in, this stadium's looking more bland than the Cowboys' last 20 seasons. And what's up with these two colors of blue down here? This looks like Stitch. Either way, this is a pretty close battle. I would say that the Cowboys' interior is a little better, but from the outside, I mean, it's just looking really bland. So I'm gonna have to give this one to the Minnesota Vikings. After that, we've got the Princess Castle looking inner tube, Barbie doll house looking Winter Wonderland, home of the Baltimore Wee Hoopins, M&T Bank Stadium. And right away, these black lines here are making it look like some little kid got into the permanent markers and drew all over their mom's purse. And these big screens here in the corner are doing less than their quarterback in the Super Bowl. And that's not the worst thing though. This bird here in the middle is looking meaner than Big Ben when he comes to town. And they'll be up against the swimming pool looking 1990s detective Bakugan Deca looking Ben 10 ring, home of the Buffalo Dilly Bars, New Era Field. And right away, this stadium's looking more generic than the Bills quarterback. And everything here is like really weirdly centered and symmetrical, which is weird because I thought they were good at pushing stuff off to the right. And I just gotta say, the view from here is about as good as Dan Carpenter's when he smashes his helmet into his face. And I gotta say, this was also a really close call. I liked how the Ravens had like white outlines around a lot of it, but I also liked the Bills, how it was kind of like really just like a huge bowl, and it just worked really well. However, I will have to give this one to the Bills. I think they just have a little bit better of a stadium, and I would definitely want to go to one of their games over one of the Ravens. Next up, we have the glitchy roof looking, scrap metal, canine tooth looking Plain Wing, home of the Los Angeles Sheep, SoFi Stadium. Probably a fan favorite, but I'm pretty sure the design for this was literally just dropping a ceramic bowl and taking one of the pieces. Either way, it's kind of a weird stadium, and this area over here, I mean, it's not even centered. It's looking uglier than the end of the Rams regular season last year. And by golly gee, they probably spent more on this than they spent on their super team. Either way, they'll be up against the undercooked filet mignon looking ruby gemstone Batman logo, home of the Tampa Bay Tom Brady's, Raymond James Stadium. And it's kind of a bland stadium. This area over here is looking okay, but this area over here, it's looking sadder than their 0-26 losing streak. And speaking of this area over here, this pirate ship fits in about as well as their original color scheme. Alright, I gotta be honest on this one. This one is not as close to the other two. Raymond James Stadium, it's cool because of the pirate ship and everything, but other than that, it's kind of just a bland stadium. There's not much special to it. However, I do like the LA Stadium, and even though it probably cost like $3 billion to make, it's still better than the Raymond James Stadium. That's no question. Let's be honest. We all knew that was gonna happen. And finally, we have our last matchup. We got the Beyblade looking Transformer 1980 skate park looking New Jersey Shoreline, home of the Jacksonville McJaggers, TIAA Bank Stadium. And wow, they've got more practice stadiums than winning seasons. Not only that, but these TVs here are bigger than their chances of losing more than 10 games this year. And they'll be up against the computer mouse looking Sushi Roll Among Us character looking Magic 8-Ball Roomba vacuum cleaner, home of the Las Vegas Reindeers, Allegiant Stadium. And this is a huge window right here, which would theoretically be good in case of a fire, but with the Raiders running game, I mean, I don't think they can make a window that big. And the outside was cool, but the seating in here is looking more bland than the Raiders playoff history in the past 20 years. And this one is not as tough as the first two, but it is actually pretty tough because I hate to knock off the team that I'm going to. I liked how the Jaguars had like their huge TV screens, probably the only team in the NFL who knows how to implement TVs. And the Raiders had a really cool outside, but the seating on the inside is a little bland, and it kind of ruined the build. This one is gonna have to actually go to the Raiders, just because it's too good to knock off, you know, like especially with the Jaguar Stadium. Even though the Jaguar Stadium I do like with the TVs, it's just not quite up to the standard of the new Allegiant Stadium. And now, anyway guys, first up we have the Minnesota Vikings versus the Los Angeles Rams, and the Minnesota Vikings have a really cool stadium that I definitely want to go check out sometime in real life, and it looks cool from the outside, has some cool seating on the inside. And then the Rams also have a very cool stadium, which I definitely want to check out sometime in my life, and they also have a very good inside and a pretty good outside as well. So this is a close one, but I have to say, if you do the math, it just kind of adds up. The LA Rams just have a little bit better of a stadium, and so this one is gonna have to go to the Rams. So the Rams have won the NFC, and for the AFC we have the Buffalo Bills versus the Las Vegas Raiders. And the Bills, honestly, I don't know if I would have expected them to make it this far, but based on the teams they've matched up against, I think they've just had the better stadium on multiple occasions. It's a pretty cool stadium, and it looks really like modern and kind of bland, but it kind of works, you know. And then the Raiders have a really cool stadium from the outside. I mean, it does actually really look like a Roomba vacuum cleaner, but that's not to say it doesn't look cool. The inside could use a little bit more you know, I don't really know how to say it, but it could use a little more. Either way, this is a pretty close one, but I'm gonna have to give it to the Raiders. Even though the inside is bland, it's too hard to pass up on a stadium like that, especially when it's against just a mediocre good stadium. And that concludes the AFC with the Raiders on top. Honestly, guys, I hate to say it, but raise your hand if you guessed that this would be the ultimate outcome, and I should be seeing about 2,000 hands going up right now. I'm pretty sure everyone saw this coming. So this one's a weird one, because obviously I had the Raiders beating over the Chargers, because the Chargers had an inside that just wasn't quite it. However, the Rams color scheme on the inside of that stadium looks a lot better than the Chargers did. It adds some much needed coloration to it that makes it look just the extra bit better. And so now, even though the Raiders might have a little bit better of an outside to their stadium, the Rams actually will take the W here. And that concludes my rankings of the NFL stadiums in Minecraft. Let's go. Round of applause for me. So the Rams have come out on top. Can't say it's the most surprising thing in the world, and I guess that's the end of this video. So if you did enjoy this video, please do subscribe and check out my other content. I already told you it takes a long time, so I hopefully got the point across. And if you disagreed with my rankings, then tell me down in the comments below, and I will see if you have valid points. Either way, this has been an awesome series. Thank you guys for liking my videos so much, and I guess I will see you in the next one. Later.